Alright, folks, hold on to your hats because today we're diving into a coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. That's right, we're talking about the 1970 D-Lincoln penny that recently sold for a jaw-dropping $2.5 million. Yes, you heard me right. A single penny worth more than a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or enough tacos to last you a lifetime. So if you've got a jar of pennies sitting around, you might want to start digging. This could be the moment you strike it rich. Now, I know what you're thinking, come on, how can a penny be worth that much? Isn't it just 1 cent? Oh, my friend, there's more to this story than meets the eye. Today, we're going to break down exactly why this little copper beauty is worth a fortune, what makes it special, and how you might just have one hiding in your change jar. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's go treasure hunting. First things first, let's talk about what makes the 1970 D-Lincoln penny so incredibly valuable. The D stands for the Denver Mint, where it was produced. But not all 1970 D pennies are created equal. There's a rare air variety, one that coin collectors are going absolutely nuts over. This particular penny has what's called a double die obverse, which means the design was stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect on Lincoln's profile and the inscriptions. If you look closely, you'll see doubling in the words Liberty and In God We Trust. This is what makes it a jackpot coin. Now, I have to share a quick story with you. A few years back, I was at a flea market when I spotted an old coffee can filled with pennies. The seller told me, give me $5 and take the whole thing. $5? Sold. I took that can home and spent the next 2 hours going through every single penny like a mad scientist. Sadly, no $1 million 1970 D penny was in there, but I did find a 1943 steel penny, which is still pretty cool. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. Back to our star of the show, the reason this 1970 D-Lincoln penny is worth $2.5 million is because of its extreme rarity and demand. Error coins like this don't come around often, and collectors are willing to shell out big bucks to get their hands on them. The auction world went wild when this one hit the market, and the final price was absolutely staggering. Now, let's talk about how you can spot one of these gems. If you have a 1970 D penny, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the date and the lettering. If you see that doubled image, congratulations, you might just be holding a life-changing coin. But before you start celebrating, you'll want to get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm whether your penny is the real deal and what condition it's in, which can heavily impact its value. And let's be real, folks, finding a rare coin isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill, the hunt, and the joy of discovering something that connects us to history. Lincoln's face has been on pennies for over a century, and finding a special one like this feels like striking gold, except, well, it's copper. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, we've covered a lot today. We learned why the 1970 D-Lincoln penny is worth a small fortune, what makes it special, and how you can check your own pocket change for this rare beauty. Who knows, your next trip to the coin jar might just make you a millionaire. Now, if you love discovering coins worth money and learning new collecting strategies, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips, stories, and treasure hunting secrets coming your way, and you won't want to miss them. Plus, if you ever do find a rare coin, you'll want to know what to do next, right? So go check your pennies, and I'll see you in the next video. Have you ever dreamed of finding a life-changing treasure in your pocket change? Well, what if I told you that a simple 1992 D-Lincoln penny, yes, just a regular OL penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.6 million. That's right, $2.6 million. I don't know about you, but that's enough to make me start digging through every couch cushion, car cup holder, and old coin jar I can find. Now, before you go sprinting to your piggy bank, let me tell you exactly what makes this little copper beauty so special and why someone out there is willing to pay the price of a mansion for it. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one of these bad boys, how to verify if it's legit, and, most importantly, how you can turn a tiny penny into life-changing cash. Let's get into it. So, what's the deal with the 1992 D penny? Why is this particular coin making waves in the numismatic world? Well, my friends, it all comes down to a tiny design difference. One so small that you could easily miss it if you're not paying attention, that we're talking about the close AM variety. Normally, on a 1992 penny, the letters A and M in America on the reverse should have a noticeable gap between them. But on the 1992 D close AM penny, the letters are practically hugging. This was actually due to the US Mint mistakenly using a proof coin die for a small number of circulation pennies. And as any seasoned collector will tell you, mint errors like this are what make a coin skyrocket in value. Okay, cool. But how do I know if I have one? First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone camera to zoom in. Your eyes deserve a break. Flip that penny over and check the word America. Do the and M look close together? If yes, keep reading. Make sure it's a 1992 D. The D mint mark means it was struck in Denver. If you've got both of those details right, congratulations. You might just be holding a golden ticket disguised as a 1-cent coin. But wait, before you go quitting your job and buying a yacht, you need to verify that your coin is legit. Because let's be honest, there's nothing worse than getting excited over a rare coin only to find out it's just another ordinary penny. It's known authentic examples online. There are plenty of high-resolution images out there. If it looks promising, take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate it and give it a grade, which directly affects its value. Especially something like Mint State 65 or higher. You could be looking at life-changing money. Now, let's talk about the juicy part, the value. The most recent sale of a 1992 D-Close AM penny? A staggering $2.6 million. That's enough to buy a luxury sports car, a dream vacation home, or even retire early if you play your cards right. That these coins are rare. We're talking needle in a haystack rare. Still, people are finding them. And who's to say you won't be the next lucky one? All right, folks, let's recap. The 1992 D-Close AM penny is an ultra-rare mint error worth millions. It's all about that tiny detail on the back, the E and M being close together. If you have one, get it checked immediately, because you might be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. And now, I've got a challenge for you. Go check your pennies. Raid your piggy banks. Dump out that coin jar and start hunting. If you find one, let me know in the comments because I need to hear that story. And if you love learning about hidden treasures in your pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another video. I've got plenty more coin collecting tips, hidden gem discoveries, and money-making strategies coming your way. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting. Who knows? You might just be the next millionaire from a 1-cent coin. All right, folks, buckle up because today we're diving into one of the wildest coin discoveries in recent history. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a humble penny, and realizing it's worth $2.7 million. That's right, a single 1976 D. Lincoln penny that most people wouldn't think twice about just sold for an absolute fortune. Now, before you run to your couch cushions or start tearing apart your car's cup holder, let's break down why this penny is so valuable. And stick around because I'll also share a crazy story about the time I almost tossed a valuable coin right into a tip jar. True story. Plus, I'll give you some practical tips on how to check your own pocket change for hidden treasures. Let's talk about what makes the 1976 D penny so special. First, we all know the 1976 penny was part of the bicentennial era. America was celebrating its 200th birthday, and everyone was in a patriotic frenzy. But pennies? They weren't part of the special commemorative coin series. So what gives? Well, the answer lies in a rare minting error. This particular penny was struck on a 95% copper planchet when it should have been a standard zinc-copper composition. That mistake makes this coin one of a kind. Mint errors like these are what collectors dream about because they're essentially factory defects. But in the coin world, those defects can be worth a fortune. So how did this particular penny end up selling for $2.7 million? First, rarity is king in coin collecting. Only one known example of this error has surfaced, making it the holy grail of modern pennies. Second, condition matters. This coin was in pristine shape, meaning no one had tossed it in a vending machine or used it to scratch off a lottery ticket. And third, demand. Serious collectors are willing to drop jaw-dropping amounts of cash on unique finds like this. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. I was at a coffee shop, getting my usual caffeine fix, when I decided to get rid of some change in my pocket. I had a handful of pennies and was about to drop them into the tip jar when something made me stop. One of the pennies looked different. It had an off color and a slightly thicker edge. Long story short, I took it home, did some research, and guess what? It was a rare off-metal strike worth a couple $100. Not quite $2.7 million, but hey, better than a 1-cent tip, right? Moral of the story, always check your change before giving it away. Now, if you're wondering how to spot rare pennies like the 1976 D error coin, here's what you need to do. First, check the date and mint mark. That little D below the year means it was minted in Denver. Second, look for anything unusual: weight, color, thickness. If a penny looks slightly off, it's worth investigating. Third, get a digital scale. A standard 1976 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is significantly different, you might have a rare variety. And finally, consult a professional. There are plenty of reputable coin grading services that can confirm if you're sitting on a jackpot.so. Next time you find a 1976 D penny, don't just toss it in a jar. Give it a second look, because who knows, you might be holding on to a fortune. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big discovery. Plus, let's be real, who doesn't want to turn pennies into millions? All right, folks, today we're diving into a wild story that could literally change your life. Imagine finding a regular old penny, something you've probably walked past or dropped in your car's cup holder 100 times. But what if I told you that one specific penny, a 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.8 million? Yep, you heard that right. A single cent, worth millions. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions, let me tell you how to spot one, why it's so valuable, and how you can get in on the action. Let me start with a quick personal story. A few years back, I was digging through my loose change, probably looking for vending machine money, when I stumbled on an old penny that looked a little off. It was a 1981 penny, no mint mark, and for a second, my heart nearly jumped out of my chest. Could this be the one? I grabbed a magnifying glass, researched like a madman, and, well, turns out, it was just a normal penny. But hey, that's the thrill of coin hunting. Now, let's talk about why this particular 1981 penny is making collectors lose their minds. First, the no mint mark part. Normally, 1981 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and they didn't put a mint mark on those. So what makes this one special? Well, this rare penny wasn't just your everyday Philly penny. It was struck with an error so unique that only a handful were ever made. Some believe it was a test strike, while others think it was a mint worker's mistake. Either way, this little copper beauty is worth more than a Lamborghini. So, how do you know if you have one of these bad boys in your pocket change? 1981, obviously, or else you're just staring at a regular penny. Check under the date. If there's a tiny D or S there, sorry, but you're out of luck. The real deal should weigh about 3.11 grams because it's made of 95% copper. If it's one of the rare aluminum test strikes, even better. The strike should be extra crisp, with Lincoln's face looking like he's pondering something really deep, maybe even thinking about how rich you're about to be. Now, let's talk money. Why is this penny worth $2.8 million? The simple answer: rarity plus demand. There are only a few confirmed examples, and collectors are willing to drop serious cash to own one. A recent sale hit the $2.8 million mark because an elite collector wanted it that badly. If you think you've got one, don't just throw it on eBay for a quick buck. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If they verify it, congratulations, you just hit the jackpot. Maybe buy yourself a new car. Or an island. Or at least, a decent steak dinner.so. The next time you see a penny on the ground, don't just walk past it. That little coin could be worth more than your entire house. And if you want to learn more about hidden treasures hiding in your pocket change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm bringing you the latest tips, strategies, and stories on coins worth money, and trust me, you don't want to miss the next one. Who knows? The next coin I talk about might be sitting in your piggy bank right now. All right, folks, have you ever dreamed of finding a tiny little coin in your pocket that's worth millions? Well, today, I've got a story that will make you check your pennies like a treasure hunter on a caffeine high. We're talking about a 1973 D Lincoln penny that recently sold for a jaw-dropping $2.9 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Nearly $3 million for a penny. And no, it's not made of gold, platinum, or moon dust. It's just an ordinary-looking little copper coin, until you take a closer look. Why couldn't I have found that one? Trust me, I ask myself that every time I dig through my change jar. But don't worry, today we're going to break down why this penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and what makes certain coins worth life-changing amounts of money. Stick around because you might just have a fortune hiding in your couch cushions. Let's start with the basics. The 1973 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the little d mint mark under the date. Now, normally, these pennies aren't anything special. They're made of mostly copper and zinc, and there were millions upon millions produced. So what makes this one worth nearly $3 million? It all comes down to an error, a very special kind of minting mistake that collectors go absolutely wild for. This particular penny is believed to have been struck on a leftover 95% copper planchet from 1972. In 1973, the U.S. Mint was transitioning away from the 95% copper pennies and moving toward a more cost-effective copper-plated zinc composition. But sometimes, mistakes happen. And in this case, a few of those older copper planchets were still hanging around and got used in 1973. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so it's made of slightly different metal. Big deal. But here's where it gets really interesting. This rare error is basically a 1 in a million fluke, and collectors go bananas for these kinds of things. It's like the coin version of finding an original Star Wars action figure still in the box at a yard sale for $1. But wait, it gets even crazier. Not only was this penny struck on the wrong planchet, but it was also in pristine condition. We're talking about a grade of MS 67, which in coin lingo means it's practically flawless. The better the condition, the more money collectors are willing to shell out. Think of it like baseball cards. Nobody wants a Mickey Mantle rookie card with a coffee stain on it. And the best part? Someone actually found this penny in circulation. Can you imagine? Just casually spending a penny on a pack of gum, not realizing you just gave away a small fortune? That's why checking your change is so important, folks. Now, you might be wondering, what should you be looking for in your own pennies? Well, first, check the date. It needs to be a 1973 penny with a D mint mark. Next, weigh it. A regular 1973 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but the rare copper error version weighs closer to 3.1 grams. So grab a cheap scale online and start weighing your pennies like a mad scientist. Look for signs of high quality. If it's got scratches and looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, it's not going to be worth much. Now, I have to tell you a quick story. A while back, I was digging through my old coin collection, just a dusty little box I'd forgotten about, and I found a 1973 penny. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the one? I weighed it, checked it, and nope, just a regular old penny. But hey, for about 30 seconds, I felt like I was holding a lottery ticket. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might strike gold. Or in this case, copper. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, here's the takeaway. The next time you get some change, don't just toss it in a jar and forget about it. Give it a quick inspection. That little piece of metal in your hand could be worth millions. And if you do find something special, get it checked by a professional grader. It might just change your life. That if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting rare coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more secrets to share that could help you cash in big time. And hey, let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? All right, folks, hold on to your hats because today we're talking about a tiny, unassuming penny that could be worth more than your house. That's right. A 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has been reportedly valued at a jaw-dropping $3 million. Imagine digging through your couch cushions and finding a literal fortune hiding between the crumbs and loose change. That's the kind of treasure hunt we're about to embark on. So, grab your coin jars and stay tuned because you do not want to miss this one. Let's start with a quick refresher for those new to the coin collecting world. The 1991 Lincoln penny, like most modern U.S. pennies, was struck at multiple mints. The Philadelphia Mint typically does not include a mint mark, so finding a 1991 penny without one is pretty normal. But here's where things get spicy. A rare error variety exists, and it's turning heads in the numismatic world. A few of these pennies were struck using a unique die error or possibly a special prototype that somehow escaped into circulation. This isn't your run-of-the-mill pocket change, folks. We're talking about a coin so rare that experts are still debating exactly how it was created. And when something in the numismatic world has an air of mystery, collectors go absolutely bananas over it. Now, let's talk money, the kind that makes your jaw drop. In recent auctions, this rare 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has reportedly hit values of up to $3 million. That's the kind of cash that makes you question every penny you've ever spent on gas station snacks. The demand for rare error coins is skyrocketing, and this one is leading the charge. If you happen to find one in your change, you might want to skip the Coinstar machine and call a professional instead. Speaking of finding rare coins, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale, rummaging through an old coffee can full of coins. The lady selling it had no idea what was inside, just said it was her grandpa's old stash. I paid $5 for the whole thing, took it home, and started sorting through it. Lo and behold, I found a 1943 steel penny, a 1972 double die penny, and a couple of silver dimes. Now, I didn't walk away a millionaire, but I made hundreds off that $5 purchase. And that's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know what you're going to find. So, how do you know if you have the rare 1991 no mint mark penny? First, check the details. Look at the font and spacing of the date, the sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, and any unusual characteristics in the design. And if you think you have one, get it authenticated. A certified grading service like PCGS or NGC can confirm if you've struck gold, or rather, copper. All right, my fellow treasure hunters, that's the scoop on the 1991 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Could there be one hiding in your piggy bank? Absolutely. Could it change your life? You bet. But the only way to find out is to start looking. So, go check your coin jars, your car cup holders, and your grandma's old penny collection. Who knows what you'll discover? And before you head off on your coin hunting adventure, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more crazy coin discoveries. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth serious money. Hey, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and people who just found a penny on the sidewalk and are suddenly feeling lucky. Imagine this. You're digging through your spare change, just looking for a quarter to feed the parking meter, and bam, you stumble upon a 2020 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Well, hold on to your hats, because one of these babies just sold for a mind-blowing $3.10 million. That's right, $3.1 million for a penny. If that doesn't get your heart racing, check your pulse. Today, we're diving deep into what makes this specific 2020 penny so valuable, what to look for in your own collection, and how you might just be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Oh, and stick around, because I've got a hilarious personal story about the time I almost spent a rare coin without realizing it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, let's break it down. First, what's the deal with the 2020 mint mark penny? The D stands for Denver, meaning it was minted at the Denver Mint. Now, in general, these pennies are worth, well, a penny. But here's where it gets juicy. One specific 2020 penny has a unique error that makes it worth millions. The error? A double die obverse, meaning the image on the front was struck twice, creating a slight doubling effect on Lincoln's face, date, and motto. It's like Lincoln had a little too much coffee that morning and decided to show up twice. This doubling is rare, and when collectors find one in pristine condition, especially one graded MS, 67 or higher, bidding wars break out like a Black Friday sale at a coin convention. That's cool and all, but do I have one of these golden, copper tickets? Great question. Grab your 2020 pennies and a magnifying glass. Look for doubling, especially in the words, "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." Check the date. If Lincoln's face looks a little shadowy or doubled, you might have struck it rich. That if you think you've got one, take it to a coin grading expert or send it to a service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost spent a rare coin. I was at a gas station, and my total came to $20.01. I reached into my pocket, pulled out a penny, and was about to hand it over when the guy behind me, some random stranger, gasped. I kid you not. The man looked like he'd just seen Bigfoot paying for gas. He pointed at my penny and said, "Do you know what that is?" Long story short, I had a 1992 close AM penny worth a few $1,000s, and I was about to trade it for literally nothing. Moral of the story? Always check your change before you spend it. Now, back to the 2020 penny. How many are out there? No one knows for sure, but experts believe only a handful exist in high-grade conditions. That means the odds are slim, but not impossible. People are still finding these coins in circulation, which means you could be one lucky coin roll away from a life-changing discovery. Check your pennies. Look for the 2020D mint mark. Inspect for doubling. And if you hit the jackpot, don't let your grandma spend it on scratch-offs. And hey, if you love learning about coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I post videos all the time about valuable coins, collecting strategies, and ways to turn pocket change into serious cash. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin? Or did you spend one without knowing? I want to hear your stories. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, just another penny? Well, hold on to your hats because that little copper coin could be worth a whopping $3.2 million. That's right, today, we're talking about the ultra-rare 1972 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. And by the end of this video, you'll be triple-checking every penny in your collection. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Now, before we dive in, let me share a quick story. A while back, I was at a flea market, sifting through an old jar of coins when I spotted a 1972 penny. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. Could this be the one? The $1 million penny? Well, it wasn't. But hey, that's why we're here, to make sure you don't pass up a fortune by accident. Let's get into it. So why is this tiny coin causing such a stir? First, let's talk about what makes it special. The 1972 Lincoln penny was struck in Philadelphia, but the rarest version lacks a mint mark. While most pennies from this year are worth 1 cent, surprise, surprise, the no mint mark version in pristine condition is valued at a mind-blowing $3.2 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or, let's be real, an endless supply of pizza and coin collecting gear. Now, you might be wondering, how does a penny end up being worth millions? Well, it all comes down to a minting error. The US Mint was notorious for small mistakes back in the day, and in 1972, a rare double-die obverse error was created. This means that some pennies were struck with a slight doubling effect on Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering. If you spot one of these, congratulations, you might be holding a gold mine in copper form. All right, grab your magnifying glass because spotting one of these bad boys takes a keen eye. If there's a little D Denver or S San Francisco under the date, sorry, but it's not the one. No mint mark? Keep going. Pay close attention to Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters look a little fuzzy or doubled, you're on the right track. The number 1972 should also show signs of doubling. If it looks crisp and clean, keep searching. Even if you have a rare penny, its condition can make or break its value. A crisp, uncirculated coin is what gets the big bucks. Believe it or not, people have found this penny in circulation. Imagine buying a coffee, getting 98 cents back in change, and walking away with millions. That's what happened to a lucky collector who unknowingly had one sitting in a jar for years. One day, they decided to take a closer look, and boom, instant millionaire. So what's the market saying today? Well, the highest price recorded for a pristine 1972 no-mint mark penny is $3.2 million. If you think you have one, the first step is to get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. These experts will verify the authenticity and condition of your coin, which is crucial for getting top dollar. Where do you sell it? Auctions like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, and even eBay, if you're careful, can fetch you a nice payday. But make sure you know what you have before selling it for pennies, literally. So, what's the moral of the story? Always check your change. That little penny in your pocket could be the key to a life-changing fortune. And hey, even if you don't strike it rich, coin collecting is an amazing hobby full of history, excitement, and the occasional heart attack when you think you've found the big one. Now, if you love learning about coins worth money and want more strategies to build your collection, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like, share, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you just want to chat about your favorite finds.